Koyanaming tavunga tunga suktitaugama ammarokau yamallunga tusayimi inuktitusumin qinaqsiman koyagituinnaqpassi kingunangmin inuk.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and thank you to the committee for providing me to speak today about Bill C-91. First, I would like to applaud the committee for recognizing that Indigenous languages must be written into Canadian law. This is essential if Canada is to grow back into its Arctic identity. Inuktitut is one of the healthier Indigenous languages in Canada, reportedly spoken by 84% of residents in Inuit Nunangat, the Inuit homeland in Canada. This makes Inuit Nunangat the largest Indigenous language area in Canada. In Nunavut, the Nunavut Act gives the Nunavut legislature the power to make laws in relation to Inuktitut. As a result, Inuktitut is an official language at the territorial level, and we have a Territorial Inuit Language Protection Act and a Languages Commissioner. Our 1993 treaty, the Nunavut Agreement, also contains some limited Inuktitut language provisions. Most importantly and optimistically, Nunavut is the only province or territory in which an Indigenous language is spoken by a majority of the public as their mother tongue. I come from Igloolik. The Hall Beach DEW line site is a distance just longer than a marathon away. The DEW line, an American military installation built across 10,000 kilometers of the Arctic in 2 years, served as a strategic military position to warn the U.S. of airborne danger from the then USSR. They were built in the days of no runways or hotels. There are still no ports. Today, the threats are different. Globalization limits innovation and creativity. I am here today, born and raised 70 kilometers from the Hall Beach DEW line site, to give you an early warning from the distance. Despite the existing protections, Inuktitut is a language at risk. Every year, the number of Inuit language speakers in Nunavut declines by 1%. It is a devastating reality that Inuit cannot access essential programs and services in our own language. Language barriers between Inuit patients and health professionals are a life and death matter, long recognized by Inuit and now in at least one coroner's report. The 97% Inuit student body in Nunavut is taught by over 75% non-Inuktitut speaking teachers, a virtual death sentence for the language. The people of Inuit Nunangat urgently need a federal language act. The government's initiative in this respect is welcome, and Bill C-91 contains recognition and objectives that NTI supports. In particular, NTI has long sought the positive interpretive principle contained in Section 3 and is pleased with the recognition of Section 35 language rights. Unfortunately, these provisions are not enough to save and sustain Inuktitut. The Inuit have offered the government a number of concrete and, we believe, reasonable proposals. Which brings me to NTI's disappointment with the bill, both in terms of process and content. You heard much of this from Nathan Obed, president of Inuit Tapirit Kanatami. It bears repeating. Since 2017, Inuit sought to be constructive partners through the legislative process, sharing position papers, drafting a comprehensive Inuktitut bill, and showing a willingness to compromise on legislative content. On the content of the bill, there are a number of central weaknesses, including the bill does not contain any funding commitments. Rather, references to funding are included in purposes, consultation, and future agreement provisions. Unlike Nunavut's Official Languages Act, Bill C-91 contains no actual rights or duties respecting the delivery of federal services in Inuktitut, and so the bill does not ensure that essential services and programs required for a healthy Inuit population and a prosperous northern economy, such as education, health, and the administration of justice, will be available in Inuktitut where numbers warrant. In short, with the greatest respect for the intentions behind it, Bill C-91 is largely a symbolic effort. Symbols are important, but they fall far short of what is needed and short of what is called for in the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's final report. Our preference is for a standalone federal Inuktitut Act in recognition of Inuktitut's unique status as the majority language of the territory. As it stands, Bill C-91 would be considerably improved by the following amendments, which you have before you. Recognition of Inuktitut as an original language of Canada and the first language of the majority of Inuit Nunangat residents. a commitment to the delivery of critical federal programs and services in Inuktitut in Inuit Nunangat to the extent that demand requires, capacity allows, and numbers warrant. Close collaboration with Inuit bodies in meeting the Government of Canada's commitments under the Act. A commitment to funding that will ensure services comparable to those enjoyed by other Canadians. I invite you to see that Bill C-91 could be so much more. On the basis of Inuit language rights, reconciliation, and our nation's ability to remain innovative, Canada must invest in the future of Inuktitut. This is achievable.
Qaqattaqluta isumariugi qattaqluta kisunisaqqiyaaqui iluane quyinayang mangata. Taanna piquyaksa uqausirearjuglugu naruneersiyumayunga. Sangigiartauyunnartuni naruneersiyumayunga. Taanna piquyaksa kiinauyartigu saqqiyaartittingimman. Kiinauyallu naruneertauyaqaangami kisuno atortaunayang mga uqaus naruneertautiarsimangimmata.
Please note that interpretation of the rest will resume very shortly. I read ahead of her statement.
Okay, sorry, we were just having interpretation issues. Thank you.
Taana nunavu oqausingin no piquyangatituungimman. Taana piquyak saksi 91 naruneersisimangimma piyunnautiunayartuni inungnun.
As it stands, Bill C-91 would be considerably improved by the following amendments. Recognition of Inuktitut as an original language of Canada and the first language of the majority of Inuit Nunangat residents. A commitment to the delivery of critical federal programs and services in Inuktitut in Inuit Nunangat to the extent that demand requires, capacity allows, and numbers warrant. Close collaboration with Inuit bodies in the meeting of the Government of Canada's commitments under the Act, commitment to funding that will ensure services comparable to those enjoyed by other Canadians. I invite you to see that Bill C-91 could be so much more. On the basis of Inuit language rights, reconciliation, and our nation's ability to remain innovative, Canada must invest in the future of Inuktitut. Thank you, and I am happy to take questions.
Isumanaqtorluunni angutisimanginningani unikariangurorsimayunnu naqaqqaarsimayum suriyorniartuum saimannermullu unikariangurortumun. Inuullutari niriurorpugun ajaortuilaorlutaruk piquyaksarmin ilaakkuungayumin inungnutuaturaangami yumin saqqitittilaarniarninginni gavamatoqakku niriugiloraruartavun. Taana isumagilaortavu inui nunanganni inui inuktun uqallakkaunnersaunninginnu taimanna tungaveqarluni piunersaunasugigaruarlutigu. Kisiani tusqauyimariqatta taimaijaanginningani isumagilaortavun qanorlikiar taana piquyaksaq C91 iluriqarunnariarpa inui pimmariugiyanginni. Taiyumayakkarsu taana inui uqausinga ilisariyauruni inui nunanganni uqausangautaungman. Taakuaru piyitsertauyunnaqullugi suurlu gavamatoqakkunni piyitsertauriraangamin inuin inuktun atorluting. Ammaru ini timiqutinginni piliriqatiqattiarpaglutin taana piquyak isumagillugu. Kingullerpaarilugu kiinauyartigu naammattiartuni saqqiyaartittiyariaqarninginni inui piyitsertauyunnaqullugi inui uqausinginni atorluting. Taana katimayuutillusi kanatao marigariorvigjoangani kiggartuiyuutillusi aksuarup ajaortorpassi tungasuktippassi inungni piliriqatiqattiaqassi inui uqausinginni sapujjauquttiaqattigu toququnginnattigu quyannami.